We're here with John Conroy from MMAR, Coalition Against Repeal. How you doing, John?
Thank you.
How are you enjoying Jamaica?
Very much, very much. Nice weather, nice and warm.
It is. It's awesome. Where are we at with the MMAR Coalition Against Repeal?
Well, we're still fundraising. We're at the stage where I'm still developing the formal legal opinion, but we're going to get an outside opinion. But we still need desperately to raise more funds. Time is ticking away. In a couple of days, the new regulations come into force and run together with the old regulations for a year. So it's going to be a busy year. Try to A, raise funds, B, get some sort of a restraining order to prevent the MMAR, personal production, and a limited designated caregiver type of aspects from being repealed.
So when our licenses expire, because they're supposed to expire, I guess, next March.
March 31st.
Are we then expected to buy our medicine from commercial growers?
Yes, unless we are successful in grandfathering the personal producers and a limited designated grower. Those will disappear, and you'll have to become a registered client of a licensed producer, or your doctor who's treating you will get from the licensed producer and can dispense to you, or the doctor or healthcare practitioner, which would include nurse practitioners, will be able to diagnose and prescribe in the form set out in the regulations, and pharmacists would also be able to dispense. So you'll get from your doctor through a pharmacist who gets from a registered producer, or you get it directly from a registered producer, and it has to be shipped, it has to be indoor, no outdoor, and the licensed producers can't at the moment grow in a dwelling place, but that's not defined.
Right, sounds expensive. So what will happen to those patients who can't afford to buy their meds and continue to grow?
Well, they're not acting lawfully in the strict sense of the word if the regulations no longer authorize them to do so. So the question is going to be whether it's necessary for them to do so. The evil that they're committing in breaking the law, is it a greater evil than what would happen to them if they aren't able to access their meds based on their medical condition and the consequences and so on? So we would have to look at the facts in each case. But that is the major criticism of the new proposed regulations, is that those folks who've been paying $1,000 a month for their medicine, who realize they could produce for $1 to $4 a gram and supply themselves, will not be able to afford the $8 to $10 a gram plus shipping that is estimated by the government. And that means it's a violation of the constitutional right of the person who's been qualified by a doctor or a healthcare practitioner to have reasonable access to their medicine. So if reasonable access is precluded, that's a problem for the government.
Right. So do you think we can be successful in fighting this thing off?
Well, you never know in litigation. There's always uncertainties in terms of who's, reasonable people can see things from different perspectives and disagree. But I think we have a solid foundation for our position in that the Ontario Court of Appeal has recently reaffirmed in Murnaugh the right of reasonable access if you're a qualifying patient. So that is where the government, seems to me, is falling down and not ensuring reasonable access to all patients under the new program.
Right. If you're a patient and you want to get involved, how can you help here?
Well, you should go to either my webpage, www.johnconroy.com, click on the MMAR Coalition button, fill out the victim impact statement so we know what the impact of this is upon you, including costs that you incurred to set things up in order to produce, because that would be your damages if they go through with it. We're calling, what we are trying to do is called a representative action to try and prevent those damages from ever occurring. But if we're unsuccessful, then people who suffer damages as a result will need to consider a class action for damages. But filling out the victim impact, contributing as much as you can relative to your financial situation. There's 23,000 or more of you out there. If everybody just contributed $5, we'd have a good war chest. But we need lots of you to do that in order to raise those monies. Taking on a constitutional challenge that's going to be fought by the government, and it's really a two-pronged constitutional challenge. It's going to take some work and take up some time. And we want to do it and do it well, and hopefully grandfather things for personal producers and limited designated growers.
Sounds good to me. Well, thanks for talking with us.
All right.
Keep watching Urban Grower for more videos from Jamaica.